trying out this new rig. It's supposed to smooth out the joints. I'm not sure if it's working or just being weird. Hey kids, normally I shy away from trendy topics like Netflix movies and anything associated with the word metaverse, but today I'm doing live motion capture with a Rococo Smart Suit on a Ready Player Me avatar, and they updated their avatar recently. I think actually it was like back in October. I made a video with the earlier version 1 of their rig, and I could see where it was going. I said I would try them again when they released version 2, and that's what you're looking at here. This video is not sponsored. I'm just sharing information and research with you. It's December 2021. We're almost out of this year, and I'm trying to give you facts, not emotions, so you can decide if you want to go down this rabbit hole. And the metaverse is I won't say it's deep, but it's a lot of holes. It's a lot of hype, and I'm already tired of it. But out of all the other avatar systems that are being associated with the so-called metaverse, Ready Player Me is a figure system that I hope it wins. I hope they win the metaverse. That's my endorsement. Okay. Right. So first I have to say what this is. Ready Player Me is an avatar system. It comes in 2 flavors. The full body figure, which is what you're seeing here, and also one of those creepy floating heads with the disembodied hands for your dystopian virtual office nightmare. Both are available in various apps right now, and that's the whole point, is this already works. That's why it's awesome. Now the system is free. It's for casual users, so they can have a persistent 3D identity when they go to whatever the metaverse decides it's going to be. And, you know, if it's chat rooms on Mars or the virtual office where your boss can spy on you, Ready Player Me has you covered, right? So they have, well, I'm not doing the weird head avatar, I'm just doing the body. So this video is more about kitbashing. In other words, like, can you use Ready Player Me avatars as game figures, as non-playing characters, as, you know, can you use them in your games, not as avatars? And the answer is yeah, if you're willing to do a little bit of work. Now the other use that's obviously really relevant is 3D puppets and real-time animation and vtubing, and I see a lot of people in my motion capture communities are looking for figures. Now I recently signed up for Ready Player Me's partner program to see what that's all about. Basically, if you fill out a form, you download the SDK for Unity or Unreal. They add you to their server with your own subdomain on the readyplayerme.com website, and that allows me to set some options when I download the figures through that subdomain. You don't have to become a partner to download the avatars. I don't think you even need to give them your email if you just want to download the figures as GLB. Now, if you're a game dev, your subdomain will, you know, it'll work like a pop-up window inside your game. Players will customize their avatar, and when they're done, you know, the avatar will just download seamlessly behind the scenes right into the game. So your players don't need to know anything technical about what they're doing, and it all looks more or less seamless. They are going to see that it's Ready Player Me, but that's fine because I'm about to tell you about the license. Now the Ready Player Me license is Creative Commons 4. It's basically attribution. It's fine to remix, you remix and do anything you want with the figures as long as you credit Ready Player Me. And it's also share alike. So what that means is that doesn't mean that you must share your figures, but it means you cannot put new restrictions on the figures. Like, they're not your copyright figures, they're still Ready Player Me figures, and anyone else can take your customizations and further customize them. That's what share alike means, as far as I understand. You know, I'm not a lawyer. Figure this out for yourself. Now the Ready Player Me EULA, the End User License Agreement, has a few stipulations like no porn, no politics. Is that enforceable? I have no idea. They forbid using Ready Player Me figures in NFTs because that would violate the Creative Commons 4 license. I assume you can't add new restrictions onto the figures. But they are going to allow blockchain purchasing for like customization, so that's how their store is going to work. Very soon it's going to be attached to Ethereum, and you don't need to know any of this stuff. Now, under normal use as an avatar, when the player goes to customize their avatar on the Ready Player Me website screen, that's going to work for all the licensing. That's going to explain, you know, who Ready Player Me is, and you can download the figures separately from your game, and that takes care of all the CC4 license. And you don't need to redistribute anything. You don't need to provide anything extra because it's part of the system. All right, now here is some of my opinion. The look is stylized 3D. It's not photoreal, obviously. These are these are stylized figures. I'm not saying Toon anymore, because Toon is like 2D with, you know, the cell outlines. So they're not photoreal. This is obviously not MetaHuman. This is not character creator. The clothing is pretty clearly low poly. You know, you'll even see errors and some weird folding when I move. The heads are surprisingly, like, I would say medium poly, like kind of higher than you expect. And spoiler alert, if you're kitbashing, the heads is really what we're talking about at this point. That's the gold mine in this system. And let's take a quick look at the website. So it's selfie based, and I guess it does a decent job. I've never really tried it with an actual photo because I don't care about that stuff. I'm not going to show too much here. This is something you can easily do yourself. The fun thing is the clothing styles change. There are seasonal costumes and occasional movie tie-ins. There's also some sportswear branding. Now, the thing that you need to remember is that these outfits can go away, although presumably they're still on the RPM servers if you have the URL to download the figure. But you won't be able to find it on the website anymore. So there's limited customization. This is really geared to get your player to, you know, feel like they've made their... They've customized it a little bit, but it hasn't like gone down a huge rabbit hole and they're back into your game or the experience that you want them to be there. So you can see why you don't want this to be endless customization. But you can see they are doing some in-house recombining of these outfits, like pants with different tops, recombination, or putting boots with a dress. And many of the choices are kind of repaints, so there may even be less costuming here than what you initially think if you're considering like downloading all the bits and pieces to try to make, you know, some kind of new costume. Now, I love the clothing styles. I like the whole style. I love the professional options, the suits and the office wear. I think that's great. Everything is safe for work. There are a few zany outfits for VR chat. You know, you gotta have the Fortnite fashion victims. But and there's a little bit of cultural clothing options. It's not much, but it's better than most. The best thing about this is all the hair, and especially black and African hair at low detail. This works as, you know, non-black too, just curly hair, but some are clearly dreads, braids, fades, a couple of afros. Now there are one or two headscarves. Not really a full cultural outfit. There's a sari, but you just get the one sari. There's never going to be enough clothing or in the styles that you need or want, and so that's why we have to kitbash, right? So Wolf 3D has discussed a creation kit. It's not out yet. Maybe by March 2022, they said first quarter of 2022. So let's say maybe March. Ready to, what is it? Ready to wear or bespoke? Is it bespoke or ready to wear? Now eventually there's going to be clothing associated with player accounts, clothing that lives on the RPM servers that you can download into any game or metaverse experience presumably. And you're going to buy that through like a blockchain wallet. I think I said they're going to support Ethereum at first and maybe others later, but basically RPM will have to support the wallet for your clothing to, you know, work in everybody else's game or 3D experience. So, you know, that kind of blockchain stuff, even though they're against the NFTs, you're going to have a blockchain to make the metaverse work. All right, I said I signed up for the partner program, and right now it's about 1,000 companies. It keeps growing every month. Companies or 3D projects or metaverse things. It's free. I signed up to find out basically what it's all about. You fill out a form and you get a subdomain. If you sign up for the partner program, basically you get the options to download the skinned meshes as separate meshes. So if you are not a partner, the whole figure comes in as one combined mesh and one atlas texture. Actually it's two. You get an albedo and a normal map texture. That's it. If you sign up for the partner program like I did, I changed my preferences to download all the skinned meshes as separate meshes. That allows me to put different shaders, which I'm not really doing here. I did do one thing. I changed the eyes, so these are not the Ready Player Me eyes. You'll live. Also, as the partner thing, what I really wanted was to download in T-pose, so that's done. It looks like I gotta calibrate where my thumbs are because I just sort of guessed it. But whatever. If you try to kitbash this figure, yeah, it'll be a little bit of heartache, but you can go so far. Let's talk about what you can do. So kitbashing an incomplete figure like this means some of this is going to be inconvenient, some of this is just not going to happen. I'm going to define kitbashing as like figure bashing. It's a combination of parts from, you know, different figure systems to make a new figure, basically. Now, you're doing this not necessarily with full professional modeling tools and rigging tools. If you had those, you probably wouldn't need to, you know, kitbash it. You certainly wouldn't need my video explaining if you can do it. You would already know what you can do. Okay, now big spoiler, the big gold mine here is the head with the full FACS blend shapes for iPhone. And you know, if you went to Polywink to get these blend shapes, it would cost you 300 euros minimum. And they advertise using a head not that different from this one, in my opinion. So if you want, you can certainly repaint, you can retexture. That's very easy. The hair is all props, it's not bone, so it's easy to swap out. You know, maybe you want to add bones or you want to do some other kind of hair or something more natural. You can certainly do that. It's pretty common to put a head with your blend shapes onto a different body, like maybe you know, body armor. You could certainly, you know, just parent these heads onto the neck of a body armor costume. Making costumes, I don't think you're going to be able to do that, even if you have Marvelous Design or whatever. There's no avatar set. I mean, there's no full body template yet. I think again they're saying maybe first quarter of 2022 before their creator kit comes out. So you can kind of see, you know, the body proportions. If you go onto the Ready Player Me website and you look, there are some bare arms, some bare legs wearing like athletic shorts, but you're not going to find a full body for any figure. Okay, so then what you're left with is maybe resculpting the head, you know, possibly apply that resculpt as a blend shape and keeping the FACS blend shapes for expressions and lip sync. Now, I think the maybe the iffiest, most problematic part of this whole process is that Ready Player Me figures download as GLB, and it's great for avatars because it's lightweight on the internet. It's not great for editing. You'd probably want like an FBX, and that's not what you get. Now, there are some issues that I've seen with GLB downloads. They say that's not their problem, it's the internet. But hello, the internet does not go away. In fact, last week, Amazon Web Services kind of went down for like a couple of days, and Ready Player Me's server was hit indirectly. You know, and I guess that's not RPM's fault, but you know, that's the internet for you. Now, also, the other part of that is that Unity has no official GLB support import yet. Plenty of free GLB and GLTF importers on GitHub. A couple of paid plugins on the asset store, but frankly, RPM's SDK includes GLTFutility. That's free on GitHub, and my rumor mill tells me that the developer of GLTFutility, or GLTFutility, maybe that's how it's pronounced, I think he was hired by Unity basically to adapt this into a full Unity importer, but it's not there yet. Should be on its way, but it's not there. So just be prepared. This is still in development. Maybe by the time you see this, things have changed. You gotta check what's new and what's current, right? Alright, the Ready Player Me SDK has an option to cache the figure, the avatar, until next time. So you're not constantly re-downloading while you're trying to work on it. But the way that it's normally going to work is it's going to download the avatar every time. So if you edit, or your player edits their avatar, you know, the changes will be downloaded into the game or the experience later whenever they come back. Makes sense, right? Now, the head is excellent. I absolutely recommend the head. I think it's adorable. The men's heads, they're a little boring. But the women's head is like super cute. It looks like Pixar, I think. I mean, you know, it's that American cartoon style. Now the body, there isn't one. So without the creation kit, there's no body. There's nothing to discuss. The clothes have some visible parts, like you can see my fingers. They're not actually attached down in my sleeves. If you can see down in my sleeves, there are no wrists. You know, it looks cute, it looks fine, but that's not gonna work for most people. The bodies are also like super low detail. Like I can see on the UV map that the body does appear to have, you know, probably full mapping on its own UV map, but there are no fingernails, no details on these, right? Now the other weird thing about the bodies, I forgot to tell you, the women have two kinds of legs. There are legs with heels and legs with flats, and kind of creepily, that's the same height woman with like telescoping shins. I don't know how that works, but just don't think about it. And basically most of the rig is you know, most of the rig is fine. It's just so weird. You're either going to be high heels or like whatever. They try to make it as easy as possible. They made choices. I'm not disagreeing with their choices. I'm just pointing them out. Didn't I say this before? So the head. Why am I still talking in circles? I'm reading my notes, I swear. So with my partner account, I can download the heads as separate meshes, and they seem to be pretty consistent. Like they end right, you know, right where the shirt is. But you know, you get the full FACS blend shapes, even the tongue. It's creepy and low res, but it's there. It also has the oculus visims in case you're doing lip syncing in a more traditional method. Now it has a lot of vertices. In fact, the head has most of the vertices aside from the hair, whatever your hair choices are. The head has the most polygons. So it's respectable. You could definitely resculpt this. The albedo map is pretty simplistic, and there's no normal map for the head. So if you wanted to take this into paint or whatever, you know, come up with like a little bit of a resculpt, a little bit of repaint, you can certainly do that. There are some makeup overlays. It's not that much, you know, with the avatar system. The hairs, like I said before, the hairs are just props, just 3D props. Some are really simple, some are more complex. I think they look good, but there are no bones and they are not skinned to the rest of the body. So like if you have a long hairstyle, it's not going to bend with the neck, it's not going to bend with the shoulders. The eyes are a separate mesh when you have the download settings in the partner. But that makes them really easy to replace. In fact, like I said, I changed the texture on these eyes to use something not really a big difference what I did, but I thought it was going to be a big difference at the time. They just have that light glint painted onto the eyeballs, and I didn't want that, and so I ended up using an eye shader with a really bright highlight. Half dozen of one, 6 dozen of the other. I don't remember how many. Teeth and tongue, I showed you. You know, I thought I would get in close here, but I'm just trying to speed through this. They are extremely low poly. You know, if you have a tongue and teeth model, I think I bought one on Blender. You know, you can replace it. Now, when you get a beard from the avatar system, that's going to have the blend shapes in it, at least the mouth blend shapes, I presume. The jaw and mouth ones. And some of the beards are just textures. So there's also like a hair texture that gets put on. So if you want to kind of make a Kitbash kit with just the blank heads, be sure to download without any hair, bald figures. You can put any hair prop or you know, dynamic hair, whatever. I'm going to try that in the next couple of weeks. Okay, what's missing? What's missing? What's wrong? What's the fly in the ointment? Where's the problems? So, other than, you know, the occasional, like, I don't have wrists in my sleeves. Open up my sleeve. There are no children's bodies. And I guess there never will be. There are no heavy bodies. There are no tall bodies. There are no short bodies. There's only male and female bodies, and it's not going to change because that's their whole avatar system, and whatever you're downloading into already has that rig set up with the animations and blah blah blah. So you're not going to get body customization probably ever, not from the avatar system anyway. If you want to do it yourself, I don't know how you're going to do it without a body template. So, you know, I don't really know what you're resculpting, just the head. Easily you could make a head into a child and just stick it on a child body. So, there are no wrinkles, no normal maps. So you can't really do elderly people or really even middle-aged people. Everyone is sort of like 20-something. Forever, and it's a little limited if you want to do story games, if you want to do non-playing characters, if you want to do, you know, anything besides an avatar system. You're going to have to provide a lot of the customization, right? So clearly, if you know, the human choices are limited, there are no orcs, there are no aliens, there are no... I don't even know what the kids fashion themselves into these days, but you can't do it. That's the point. You can't. you're gonna be doing a lot of work. My personal opinion is that the female heads look very cute. Even the different You know, you get a little bit of customization in the shapes, basically like the jaw shape and the eyes and the nose. And the women look cute. They all look like Pixar. The men look a little bland, a little underbaked. Maybe I like my men a little more rough around the normal maps, if you know what I'm saying. Now they did add the blend shapes for the faces. It's not really enough. It's fine for an avatar system because you don't want people getting like lost, making goofy looking avatars that all don't match, you know. And once you get into it, you do notice the differences, even though it's just like some jaw shapes. But that's all there is. So it's fine for an avatar system. It's not really enough for a character system. So you're either going to have to resculpt and do a lot of repainting, or, you know, resculpt and do a lot of painting. I don't think you have a choice. Where Ready Player Me succeeds, where it's great, it works. I mean, that's what I'm showing you, is it's working. It looks fine. It looks great. If you're VTubing, download this. It's free. It's attractive. If you're developing a game and you are prototyping, or you want user customization, do this. It's free. I think it's a great system. I think it's going to work. It's really nice. And because it uses so many standards, you know, the normal humanoid rig, iPhone, fax, blend shapes, it's all standards. If you switch to another figure, you know, you can use the same systems. The other thing that I really love about this system is that all the clothing is fun. It's all safe for work, which is a relief. You know, when you have like anything that's public, that, you know, you're not going to have a freak show walking in with just trying to be obnoxious and, you know, deliberately doing anything wrong. It's pretty limited that way, and I think that kind of sets a proper tone. Probably not what you want with your game, but for a social situation, I think it's fine. I think it's good. I think it's a good idea. Now, where Ready Player Me is headed in the future, well, they're going to have a store and customization. I guess they're going to have a lot of stores and a lot of customization. Probably in 3 months. We'll say by spring, April 2022. There are SDKs to download for Unity and Unreal, and they're targeting indie game devs, and it's free to use. The real metaverse is going to need simple avatar system that everybody knows how to use, and at the moment I think it's going to be Ready Player Me, so that's why I'm pushing for it. You know, I think where they win is they stuck with standards, they stuck with the iPhone blend shapes, and, you know, normal humanoid rigging, and T-pose if you can get it, and a very friendly, attractive, recognizable 3D face. Now, what is unlikely to change? Sorry. What is unlikely to change? These bodies. You're not going to get extreme customization, or heavy people, or children. It's just not going to happen. And they won't say that. They'll say, maybe. No, it's not going to happen, because it's going to be too complicated. You need new rigs, basically, in all of the apps and metaverse themes that are using the avatar system. So it's not going to happen. Don't expect it. Remember that the system is an avatar system. It's oriented towards the casual metaverse, not hardcore gamers, not it's not really a character system. Okay, so the blend shapes are beautiful. I love the heads. And the costumes are cute. I would use these, you know, just for fun. It's quick to swap out. Now if you're a VTuber or you are building an online meta thing, Ready Player Me is an attractive avatar system with a lot of features and a lot, it adheres to mostly standards. Your avatars will update when you change their clothing or hair online, so be aware of that. When it re-downloads a fresh avatar into the game. Now if you have a project set up in Unity, pull the figure from the server, you can also you know, refresh your looks and use Ready Player Me's like hysterical seasonal costumes. Keep your look updated, keep fresh. Otherwise, if you're doing games, you're gonna just want to like download the figures and kitbash them and adapt them for your own needs. I think I am out. My phone is out of juice. I'm probably not getting as smooth of a frame rate as I hope, but I'm gonna bail. Happy holidays, everybody. We still got a week until New Year's. Maybe I'll catch up with you before then. And I will see you soon. This is Wet Circuit, and you're watching Cutscene Artist. If you found this useful, like and subscribe. This is just as free information. It's mostly about figures and doing real-time animations and animating with game engines and that sort of thing. So subscribe if you want. Otherwise, happy holidays, and I will see you in the new year, everybody. Bye.